Hello and welcome. Hello everybody, and welcome to my new YouTube video. And today I will show you how I make my webcomic, basically. So the first thing I do is planning, basically. So I just open up a document and put stuff down. Okay, first I have a document, and this one is very long because I used it for many chapters. I'm gonna censor this because this is all very embarrassing, but on the bottom here where it will be very pixelated, I just write down any ideas I get because, you know, sometimes you are out and about and then you think about you come up with an idea. So you gotta write that down, okay? That's a thing I learned that you should always do. Whenever you get an idea, the moment you get an idea, you put that down, okay? You can put it in your notes app, you can put it on your hand, but yeah, because you don't want to forget, because then you would forget. So then after I have my idea section, it's kind of in order, but since this comic is more like, it's not very sequential, I can just take one of these ideas and then make an episode about it. One of my ideas is called One Chinese Karate Special. I don't really know what that entails, but that's interesting. So I could take that idea, and then next what I'll do is I'll write a script. So I wrote a script for my last kind of section here. Everyone can have their own system. I mean, no one's gonna look at your script if you're the only one like working on it. So you just gotta find out what's helpful for you, and basically I just write down what happens. It's not super detailed, like I'm not planning out every panel, but if that helps you, then obviously you would do that. But I'm mostly figuring out the dialogue, and it changes a lot. Even when I start drawing, I want to change a lot of things because change is what happens after some time. So basically how I format it, though, if you're so curious, I put settings. I'm sorry. I put the settings, Connor's house, and then like what's happening just in parentheses, and then I put the speaker's name and then what they're saying. Also, when they're having a thought, I like to put the thought in like brackets. Is that what it's called? Just like that. So then I kind of know the difference. And that's it, pretty basic, you know, it gets the point across. That's all I need to know. So that's like the scripting, planning part. Okie dokie. And now you've reached the next step. So the first thing I do is I take out my super long canvas, and I think it just has to be like 800 pixels wide. So I just make sure the canvas is that wide, and then I just extend it further for like each scene. I try to make each canvas like one little scene because that's organized in my brain. And then after that, we can have some fun and finally start drawing. So I'm just drafting, and you know, I just use the little box tool and I just go. I'm just kind of winging it and seeing where fate takes me. So after I sketch it out, then I have this kind of layer system that I planned out. Okay, so here are my layers. So I have my sketch all the way in the bottom, and it's gonna be low opacity, obviously, so I can draw over it. And then I have like the base color, which is what the red layer is. It's so that like I put the base in all the frames, and then I attach all the line art and the colors to that base. I clip it on, so then if you draw outside of the base layer, it doesn't actually go outside. So I kind of just have the base to clip everything and have it neat. And then the orange layers are for my colors, so I have colors for my background and the middle ground, and then the yellow ones are for line art. I don't know why there's foreground, middle ground, background. Well, I used to have foreground so I can blur the line art if something's like up close, but I don't really do that anymore, so that's not necessary. But that's just to separate, you know, the layers to make things easier. And then the green one is for the frames, which is just the boxes, the lines for the boxes. And then we have bub, which obviously stands for bubble, and I put the bubbles in there. I just put the line art with the color because I don't know, it's easier. I don't need to do any shenanigans. And then I have my effects on top of everything because you want to go pow and it pops up. So that's the layer system. There's this cool function in Clip Studio Paint where you can kind of have a command where you just press a button and then it will automatically create all those layers because I set it up that way. I think I watched the video on it. I can link it. So that's how the layers work. And then I'm sorry, I forgot to record any footage of me drawing the bubbles or the text or the frames, but it's not too complicated. I just make sure my script has no typos because it has like spell checking on there, so it's good. It's easier to check typos, and then I just copy and paste because I know there probably isn't any typos, but also there probably is because I am bad at spelling, which is why also, oh yeah, I must note, you should have someone proofread it, okay? It doesn't matter if it's your friend or your grandma or your pet dog. Okay, you need a second pair of eyes. It's very helpful. You don't want any embarrassing typos or accidental, I don't know, slurs hidden. Oh wait, I do have footage of me putting in the frames. I am a liar. After I copy and paste the text, I just draw bubbles around it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh yeah, and then I got the font that I use. I just looked up a font and then I downloaded it, and that's it. You can just find like any free font online. I've also learned some like bubble important rules about bubbles, okay? Like, you don't want to have too little space in between the words and the outline of the bubble. Okay, because it makes it harder to read. You don't want your like text to be suffocating in your bubble. It needs some room to move around. I'm just kidding. It's not gonna move. It's not alive. It's sedentary. Is that the word? I do not know. But yeah, so anyways. Okay, so then this part takes the longest. And that is gonna be the actual line art, the actual drawing of everything. I mean, I guess it makes sense why, because it's the drawing part, so it takes the longest. But sometimes I wish the art would just take 2 seconds. Then I could just get the story out of the way. Maybe I should just become a fan fiction writer. Then I don't have to draw. But the problem there is that I like drawing and I like having pictures with the story. So actually, I think I will stick to comics, okay? I had a lapse in judgment, but I'm back now. We are back in the game. Okay, so I just draw. I'm drawing what I need to draw in the boxes, alright? And they gotta be in the boxes most of the time, because that's how comics work. If, you might be, I'm not gonna count out the fact that you might be an alien, okay? You might be an alien, you might have never seen a comic in your life. So I'm just explaining this to you. But anyways, after I do line art, then we're gonna hit the coloring town. Because when we're in coloring town, we're gonna color things. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's really not too crazy, okay? So basically, what I do is I take my very handy dandy bucket tool, alright? Clip Studio Paint has some nice bucket tool features, not sponsored, and I fill up those colors, okay? That's what I do. I wonder, is it really like a bucket tool? Because I imagine if you drew something in real life and then you had a paint bucket and you just poured it all over that shit, it would spill everywhere and it would not go in the lines. So I don't know. That's kind of false advertising. What if somebody sees that? What if somebody sees the paint bucket tool and they see the icon is a paint bucket, and then they go to freaking Home Depot and they buy a paint bucket and they ruin their precious hard worked on art just because of this false advertising? That would be absolutely devastating. I think I got a little off track. Okay, after the bucket tool, alright. Okay, well, I kind of have a new style. So, in this style, I like to add little blushies, and I just put a multiply layer on top with, blushy colors. And you just give a little blush to everyone. Also, I like coloring in the line art, like around I don't know how to explain it. I like to like the part that's inside. I don't get it, okay? I don't know how to explain to you. You can, it's fine. You don't need to know. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay. What am I talking about again? I think. Oh yeah. Also, it didn't capture this, but I have my little color palette that I picked from. It's in a different window, so it didn't catch that, but you could have a color palette window in my program. I'm sure it's in, that sounds like a thing that would be in every program. So wait, let me just show you. Okay, this is how I organize it. So I made like each row the main character's colors. Like on the left is their skin tone and their hair, and then on the right I put their like the colors of their outfit, and it works wonders. So organized. And then I just put random colors I like using on the bottom, and that's it. That's how it goes. And then we get to the funnest part, which is the background. Everybody loves to draw buildings and the floor and trees. I'm just kidding. Nobody does. I'm just kidding again. There are people in the universe who enjoy that kind of activity. But it actually, I don't know. I do dread it. It brings everything together. It's necessary. It is a necessary evil. So that's what I do. I like using this kind of painty brush and the pen tool, kind of mix it up. And yeah, I also, this is where I put all the finishing touches. So I might add some lighting effects. I might add another multiply layer to add like, to make everything darker if it's like dark, because when it's dark, then it's dark. All right, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's basically it. And then I hit the save button. That's right. I hit the save button just like you should hit the like and subscribe button. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I just saved my files. Oh yeah, files. Do you want to know about my files? No, you don't. I just have a file for like each chapter. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That was so horrendous. Anyway, after I save it as a PNG, then I go upload it to Webtoon. You press it automatically, like slices it together, and yeah. I also crop a little thumbnail from each. Yeah, it's nothing crazy, it's nothing complicated, okay? And that's basically it. So, if you have any questions, I would be so happy to try and attempt to help you. I'm obviously not a professional. I'm actually a noob. I've only been making this comic for 4 years. I'm just kidding. Well, over the span of 4 years, over very spread out work, okay, because there's been breaks in between many times, so yeah. Anyways, if you read my comic, thank you so much. Right now, I find it very cringe, so don't share it. Stop reading it, okay? It's cringe. I hate it. I don't ever want to be associated with this ever again in my life. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's not that bad, but some parts haunt me because they're bad. But I can't just take them out, because then it ruins it. Wouldn't make sense without it. Anyways, I think that's it. So goodbye. Goodbye, world.